Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Ultrasonic Film. As always, I'm your host, James, talking about movies, and more movies. I have a very special guest on the show right now, Wendie Malick. It's an honor to have you on the show. Welcome to Ultrasonic Film.
Thank you. Nice to be here, James.
I'm hoping you'll indulge me a little bit and let me ask you a few questions about your extraordinary career. Would that be okay first?
No, I'm sorry, you can't do it.
I'm a huge movie fan, and I grew up on the television show Dream On, which I really enjoyed, of course, with all the movie references. You did a remarkable job with that show, in my opinion. You were the ex-wife, but you also made your character Judith very appealing. And I thought that was a really nice trick because, of course, with the storyline and all the romantic adventures, the ex-wife, it worked very, very well. When you think of Dream On, what first comes to mind, thinking back over those 5 or 6 years that you did that show?
That was a gift that kept on giving. It was actually the first time that people realized I was funny. And initially, I was the straight woman for Brian Benben, who was the genius. But when they discovered that I was a comedian, they let my character, who was a psychologist on the show, become more neurotic, and which was way more fun. So she was on the surface very cool, calm, and collected, but underneath it, she was sort of a mess, which is way more fun to play.
Dream On was an HBO TV show that ran for 6 seasons from 1990 to 1996. In Canada, it played on Super Channel. It followed the adventures of a book editor, Martin Tupper, and featured movie clips as the lead character's reactions to situations. These would be usually classic black and white movie clips, and as a result, it was one of my favorite shows because it's an absolute must for movie fans. The show focused specifically on the romantic life of the lead character and leading to many sexy and racy situations that network TV couldn't show. Dream On was put together and produced by Kevin Bright, who would later create the hit show Friends, and John Landis, a Hollywood movie director. As a result of these two Hollywood connections, there were many celebrity guest stars throughout the entire show's run.
So
Wow.
that kind of opened the door to the comedy that followed that series and has made up the bulk of my career.
One of the most highly regarded Christmas movies of all time is Scrooged. It's become a staple for so many different people with the overall production as well. What was it like?
Oh, it was really fun. And that was totally I was connected. My ex-husband and his partner, Michael O'Donoghue, who was a dear friend, they wrote it. So they wrote the part of Wendy for me, which, anytime you know somebody who wants to throw you a bone, you say, yes, thank you very much. And I can't believe how that movie has survived over the years. I think it's considered one of the 10 most popular Christmas movies of all time, or the top five or something. But it was great fun. Billy is just a lovely human being, and Richard Donner was so much fun. And it was a very happy set.
A film that I really enjoy, one of my favorite romantic comedies, is The American President. And this film, of course, exceptionally well written and directed, but it also gave you the opportunity to work once again with a terrific character actor, John Mahoney. He's always been a favorite of mine. You've worked with him in so many different respects with Hot in Cleveland, and of course, the season finale of Frasier. I'd love to get your take on John Mahoney, this great character actor that we lost too soon.
He was just one of the warmest, kindest, most generous actors I've ever worked with, and so brilliant, and could do drama as well as comedy. I mean, he could sing and dance. We even did a fantasy episode on Frasier that last season where we did a whole dance number, and he was delightful, and we really lost a great one in John. But yeah, An American President, which is one of my all-time favorite films about politics and government, and sort of, if we could have a Camelot where things really were like that, it would be so wonderful. But it was a real gift. And Rob Reiner is such a good director, and he likes to rehearse with his actors before you shoot. So we did a month of rehearsals before we even started on that.
Wow,
Have
that's
great
kind of
chemistry.
rare.
Very rare. It's like old school, and it really pays off, I think, because once you're on the set, you really know what the scene is and what you're doing, and it's a rarity, but I think it's a really smart way to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get the best from your actors in that respect, and of course, Rob Reiner, being a former actor, it's great to be able to I assume work with him. That's awesome.
Oh, he's a
Oh,
lovely guy.
and it's a real honor speaking with you today. So thanks so much for joining us here on Ultrasonic Film.
Thanks so much, James. Appreciate it.